Yo, what is good, YouTube? Dubs here, back with another video, guys. We have some more breaking news, highlights, analysis, some takeaways and observations from yet another day here in Houston Texans OTAs. Now, we're just about a week away from the start of mandatory minicamp here for the Texans, and I'm going to go through and tell you everything that you need to know prior to that and what's happened over OTAs, some of the guys who have been standing out. However, before we get into that, I need you guys to do me a huge favor. Smash that like button if you are enjoying these videos. If you like what the Houston Texans have done this offseason, hit that like button. Let's even get it up to 500 likes. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will be covering the entirety of the NFL offseason, which includes, the rest of free agency, mini camp, training camp, preseason, regular season. I got you guys covered with everything you need to know. So make sure you guys join the family, turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we drop a video. But without any further ado, let's jump into the video. Now, I want to mention something very interesting here for the Texans OTAs. Now, when you go back to the start, it was kind of like, split. It was CJ Stroud and Davis Mills, splitting pretty much a ton of the reps. And for a little bit there, it looked like Davis Mills had the edge. But obviously, you can't read too much into that just because CJ Stroud's a rookie. Now, thing that got interesting, by week 2, Stroud was, working with the first team most of the time. And during the third week, it looked like he was the full-time starter. Now, like I said, don't read too much into that. It's only OTAs. The pads aren't on. There's no hitting. There's no contact. There's no, it's not the dog days of camp just yet. So, yes, CJ Stroud looks good, and it looks like he potentially will be the day one starter, but there's still a ton more of, camp to go through, training camp, preseason, and we got to see if he's really ready to take on the steps of being the starting quarterback of this team come the start of preseason, regular season. But one thing that DeMeco Ryans did say was he was very happy with all three quarterbacks, Davis Mills, CJ Stroud, and Case Keenum. He said they're all competing, doing very, very well, and just look very good in terms of learning a new system coming over here with DeMeco Ryans. Now, obviously, DeMeco Ryans, he's a dog, man. We all remember DeMeco Ryans when he used to play for the Houston Texans, and now he's back over here coaching the team. And I think I'm gonna enjoy watching them play football because I love DeMeco Ryans and what he was as a player, and I think he's going to, help this team, kickstart their future here. And he already has, made an impact on this team, bringing in, CJ Stroud, Will Anderson, and a couple of other guys as well. I'm excited to hear that. But it looks like they want to, play an attack style defense, which I like. Obviously, DeMeco Ryans, more of a defensive-minded coach because, he played linebacker. So he's going to come out here and hopefully he's going to instill something very good in this defense. And when you look at the roster, Will Anderson, Sheldon Rankins, Jonathan Grenard, in the secondary, in my opinion, looks amazing. I mean, you got Jimmy Ward, Derek Stingley, Jalen Petrie, Desmond King, you got Shaquille Griffin, you got Steven Nelson. I think this secondary looks really good. Obviously, there's a ton of areas where they need to improve and get better going forward, especially the linebacker. I think they have some work to do. You got Denzel Perryman and Christian Harris, who, I don't mind those guys. Corey Littleton, another guy coming over from Carolina. I like those guys, I do, but I do think in a couple of years they're going to be insane. Obviously, with Will Anderson, he's going to move fully to defensive end. He was an edge rusher, which is basically defensive end, but they're going to list him as a defensive end here in Houston, which I guess makes sense. But so far, so good for this defense, for the offense. Everything looks good on point. And I do want to bring up some of the guys who've been standing out in terms of rookies and undrafted free agents. And now this is all coming from DeMeco Ryans. He said he's loved what he's seen from CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. Obviously, those guys were highly touted, high first-round picks. Those guys need to play good, and they've done an excellent job so far. But some of these guys lower who got drafted and undrafted guys who are starting to look good, one of them being Jesse Matthews, a wide receiver. He looked pretty good. I heard DeMeco Ryans say something about him, a very young wide receiver, undrafted free agent this year. He caught a nice little pass over the middle during, I think, team period. And then we also have Jared Wayne. Looked, he had a pretty big play, another wide receiver, I believe, undrafted wide receiver. He had a big play during 7-on-7s. And then from there, you look at guys like, Xavier Hutchinson, Tank Dell, Drew Scruggs, all look amazing. And DeMeco Ryans cannot stop raving about those guys. And it's going to be exciting to see how those guys continue to develop and go forward with this offense, with this team going forward. I'm excited to see who the starting receivers are going to be. Because when I look at the roster, I mean, I see, 5 wide receivers that I could potentially, picture being the starting wide receivers come day one. Obviously, you got Nico Collins. You have a former second-round pick in John Mechie, who did not play at all last year due to, an injury. But you also have Robert Woods, who they just picked up from Tennessee. Or I think they picked up him from Tennessee. You also have Xavier Hutchinson, who's looking good. You got Noah Brown, who they brought over from Dallas. And then now Tank Dell, man. Tank Dell, third-round pick. I mean, let me know in the comment section down below, who do you think is going to be the day one starters for the Houston Texans, in the preseason? Who do you guys think? Give me your opinion. Obviously, Tank Dell and Xavier Hutchinson have more to prove because they're rookies. But John Mechie's pretty much a rookie as well. Didn't play at all last year. So it's going to be very interesting to see how many of these guys can, turn some heads, break out, and earn a starting job on this team going forward. Now, in terms of the offensive line looks really good, man. Laramie Tunsil, Kenyon Green. I mean, the amount of first-round picks you have on this offensive line is truly amazing. I mean, like I said, you got Kenyon Green, Laramie Tunsil, you got Tyus Howard, Shaq Mason. You got a second-round pick in Juice. I mean, offensive line looks really, really solid. I think it's good. You also bring in a tight end from Dalton Schultz, Brevin Jordan, a former fifth-round pick. And then CJ Stroud, the quarterback room, looks good. Dameon Pierce. You got Devin Singletary, Mike Boone. Offense looks good, man. I mean, I'm excited to see what this Houston Texans team is going to be all about here in 2023. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family. Those are some of the names that have been standing out so far. I just want to bring up a couple of them before we head into mandatory minicamp, which I'll have way more to talk about there. But like I said, the guys have been standing out so far. A couple of wide receivers in Tank Dell, Xavier Hutchinson, Jared Wayne, Jesse Matthews. From there, it's Juice Scruggs. He looks really good. And then, Will Anderson, CJ Stroud have done an excellent job, getting into the system and learning the playbook. But there's still a ton more guys that are going to have to, start making a name for themselves going forward. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Today's video is brought to you by Pro Class, the absolute best place for you to take your game to the highest level. It's the first of its kind sports training and development platform where you can reach your highest potential by learning from some of the best athletes on the entire planet. Some of these guys include Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, Allen Iverson, DeMar DeRozan, and so many more. And I have some great news for you guys. If you guys go use my code, MattyDubs, you'll get 50% off hundreds of training videos, workouts, and drills, and you can get in the lab right now. So go check it out. Go steal some of the secrets from some of the top players in the world right now. And if you are interested in developing your skills at any level, if you play in middle school, high school, college, or if your goal is just to be a better athlete, a better basketball player, this is where you need to go. Nobody else does this. Go check them out, and you can learn, develop your skills at a fast pace, high speed level. Click the link in the description for instant access to all of the secrets in the world. And remember, using code MattyDubs will get you 50% off right now, so don't miss out on this offer.